Yeah, that's Alex's fault. He went live before the rest of us, so
It's all good. It's all good.
yeah. You good?
Mm-hmm.
You live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got an early start because you know, Alex here didn't jump the fucking gun on the rest of us and went mute. But we're here today. Pardon me. I'm gonna be your host, the struggle diva, Coupon Strives. Apologies. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I'm gonna sound a little bit kind of blasé, but I'll try to make it as exciting as possible. But before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce our panel here today. We have a special guest with us once again. We got the Dank. Mr. Dank himself in the house. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Mr. Dank Star.
Mr. Dank.
Oh,
Mr.
man.
Dank.
What's going on, guys? Mr. Dark Star back again, once again, and here to talk some Nintendo.
Alrighty, and Miss Nia, go ahead and introduce yourself. What you been doing? What's going on?
What is up, everybody? It is your girl Nia, TheVideoGamHer, and I apologize if I also too sound a little out of it today. Your girl has been very busy here lately, and I'm picking up a couple of shifts, so I gotta go to work tonight. So I just woke up. But as far as what's going on with me and what's going on with my channel, I am getting ready to finally tackle this here backlog on Steam.
Lies.
I'm serious.
Lies.
Everybody lies about that, but it's cool.
Happening. I'm telling you, it's happening. I'm getting ready to like I plan on I don't know about this week because
see,
you know,
there it goes already.
Listen, I told you I picked up a couple of shifts this week. It depends on how tired I am.
Yeah, sounds like excuses.
Seriously, I do plan on streaming Metro because I mean, like, you know, when they announced Metro Exodus at E3, I was like, dang, I should probably finish those games so I can prepare for Metro Exodus. So I'm going to be playing through Metro 2033 as well as Metro Last Light, and you might also see me streaming on my channel as well. Another thing that I did pick up that I forgot to tell you guys that I actually got was ARMS. My boyfriend bought me ARMS. I had a chance to play it for a little bit. I don't know if we're allocating any time for like sell stuff, but ARMS is actually doing pretty well overseas. But anyway, you know, whatever. I think that's pretty dope. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. That's what I've been up to.
Alrighty there, Alex. Go ahead and introduce yourself. What you been doing?
What's going on, everyone? ActiveSyn here. I've been playing a lot of games. Steam sales been taking a lot of money from me. Yeah, it's been a lot of good streaming going on here. I streamed the entire Ori game, Ori and the Blind Forest, which is an awesome game. I'm playing
cool.
Metal Slug 3 right now. Oh, I just died while I was talking. But yeah, I'm going to try and get through this new backlog that I've just created, because I don't generally have a backlog, because I don't buy too many games at the same time usually, but during Steam sales it's like unavoidable. Steam sales!
All about them Steam sales.
And finished God of War 3 recently, so that was a good game. And of course, now that I've beaten it, it's on sale on the PlayStation Store for $5, and I spent $20, so that's exciting.
That's always exciting. Alright.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah, it should be a good show tonight. A lot of Nintendo stuff going on.
Yep. So, speaking of sales, let's get right on into the first topic. So, for the first time, a Nintendo Switch eShop game is on sale. What is this game? So, Sumo Digital has announced it is discounting its unique puzzle platformer, Snake Pass, on the Nintendo Switch eShop, making it the first game to go on sale on the service since the console launched back in March. From today until July 4th, Switch owners can download the title for $12, 40% off the game's normal price, or $20. The Switch sale is only one of part of Sumo's has dubbed a summer of sales for the game. In addition to that, Snake Pass is on sale for PC as part of the Steam summer sale. So there you go, summer sales going on, and Steam users can download the title for $10 until July 5th. PC players can also get it. It's going to be also part of a Humble Store sale, which will also be $10, and that will be between July 5th and the 19th.
No, the part of Humble Bundle.
Yeah. So yeah, and there's also gonna be some DLC. Doesn't say what's gonna be a part of it or what it is, but yeah.
Maybe you can finally jump in a platformer.
I know, you know, it's a platformer and you can't jump though.
It's more like a physics-based game.
Yeah, it's more like trash.
The way that they kind of advertise it is kind of misleading. Like it's not really a platformer. It's more like a puzzle, like physics game.
Puzzle solver type.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, you know, it's cool.
First game on the eShop to be on sale. Cool stuff, I guess. I'm still not interested in that game, not even for $5. But if you're waiting for a sale on Snake Pass, there you go. It's on sale, 40% off. Can't really
can't argue with that, you know.
Yeah. Can't argue with 40% off.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Anybody plan on purchasing it who hasn't already gotten it?
As far as like sales are concerned on the freaking Nintendo eShop, like, can we get some like actual sales?
40% off is pretty good.
No, I'm talking about for
other games.
Oh, yeah, for Nintendo games?
That's not happening. Stop that.
Y'all know how it goes with sales on freaking Nintendo consoles, man.
I don't hold my breath, so I ain't worried about it.
They just be
it's
like,
not sales. They be discounts, just minor discounts. So
instead of like getting our game for $60, you can get it for $55.
Oh, that is so awesome! Thank you.
You better buy one for yourself and one for your friends.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Alrighty then. So nothing else to say about that topic, you guys?
Guess not.
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next. Apparently, Bubsy is upset he's not on the SNES Classic.
Oh, God.
He hints at Switch games. So he is actually got a Twitter account, and he said, "Wait, what? No Bubsy? Wow, Mario can really hold a grudge. I like the Switch better anyway." So I have no clue why he felt the need to just jump out there and say that, but that's pretty cool. It's funny. It's interesting. I like when some of the characters have when they give them personality. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this little article and see what's going on. So retro gaming is alive and well right now. Nintendo's announcement of the SNES Classic Edition and the hoopla that followed afterwards clearly showcases this. Everyone for the major news outlets to even video game characters themselves have started talking about the SNES Classic. Bubsy, for some reason, is also coming back from the mascot grave and seems a bit upset that he wasn't included in the SNES Classic. And his quote was what I just told you guys. So I don't know what made him think he could just dig himself out of the grave and start talking shit. But okay, cool.
Do whatever he wants.
He's trying to pull a Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter.
I don't know.
Funny,
that's what he's trying to do.
So, does anybody want a Bubsy though for an SNES or any kind of Switch or anything like at all? Does anybody want Bubsy around?
I've never played
not
the original,
really.
so I don't even.
I don't even know what a Bubsy is. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like I've never played that game.
You guys never played Bubsy before?
I've never played a Bubsy.
I knew who it was, but I never could care less. Like it never interested me then. It's not gonna get me now. So stay in the grave.
Another mascot. Like the Bubsy game is okay, but it's not as good as any other platformer, really.
Okay, so it's an obscure one, basically, kind of.
It's okay, but like nothing special.
Nothing special.
I'm trying to figure out who has fond memories of Bubsy, because
Bubsy.
anytime we're talking about classic games and classic platformers, he is never in the conversation.
He's not brought up, yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I never played Bubsy, so I don't know how good or bad the series was or the game was, but I kind of have an idea based on what I just said. Just based on what I just said, but I never played the original, so I don't know. Maybe there's a cult following out there, people who actually like Bubsy or excited for his return, but I don't know.
I mean, I ain't gonna knock people if they are excited, so that's cool for y'all, but I don't know. I just
more games is always good. I'm not gonna advocate for having less games, but like
definitely
it's not something I would be interested in.
not worried about them too much. But
I got enough platformers on Nintendo consoles to worry about a subpar one.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's
pretty much.
We are spoiled for choice with Nintendo when it comes to platformers.
Boy, let me tell you.
I mean, the best platformers on Earth. There's no need to go elsewhere.
The best platformers are always on Nintendo anyways, so... Bubsy doesn't really fit in, but
hey,
welcome to the party, because everyone wants to be part of the Switch gang.
I know, right? But, you know...
But no love for you on the SNES Classic, Bubsy. Sorry, you don't make the cut.
You didn't make the cut.
You definitely don't make the cut.
Yeah, you didn't make the cut, fam. Sorry. Sorry. Alright, so anything else on that topic, or shall we move on? Alright.
Yeah, we can move on.
Alright, let's go ahead and move on then. So, Minecraft, you guys. For those of you out there, Better Together update. More DLC hitting Switch, Wii U, and the Wii U tonight. So, as you probably know, we'll soon be bringing you the Better Together update, which will combine console and mobile editions into one super lovely version of Minecraft. But that doesn't mean we're twiddling our thumbs in the meantime. Console edition will still be getting updated with new features, and those platforms which won't support the Better Together update will continue getting updates even after it lands. With that in mind, here's an update for you. It should be rolling out right now across Xbox and PlayStation platforms, with Switch and Wii U to follow on later tonight. So the new features, you're going to get 7 new achievement trophies, new UI engine, saving significant memory, which should boost performance. Llamas. You get llamas, you guys. Parrots.
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of hype.
You get
hype.
You get some parrots. You get llamas, parrots. You're gonna get some woodland mansions, treasure maps, some observer blocks, totem of undying. I don't know what that is, but okay.
Some weird Minecraft thing.
Yeah, some weird Minecraft stuff. Bouncy beds, diable beds, options to change biome.
When is the crossplay stuff happening?
I guess they're still working on that, because it says they're trying to put this and mobile together, I guess, but the crossplay comes later, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
Let me see what it says down here some more. As well as these fancy features, the release also makes 2 new bits of DLC. Okay, so it's just more DLC that you're going to be also getting along with all the features that were listed. So, I mean, be on the lookout for that. Updates are coming later tonight, actually.
Well, you know that Minecraft on the Switch is also going to be getting that super duper graphics pack. I wonder if it's going to get crossplay around that time when all of that stuff is kind of like...
I don't know. They're not
the
talking
Switch
about
is
it.
getting the 4K texture pack?
Yeah, they're getting the texture pack.
Or is it 1080p? Because
I have listen, sir. I have no idea. All I know is that they're getting the super duper graphics pack. I don't know what.
Why are people excited about this graphics pack for this game, though?
Because they're idiots. That's why.
I don't know.
But the game itself, like, it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, that game.
It doesn't make sense for graphics.
That game in 4K is still gonna look like Minecraft.
Yeah, so
funky ass animations and stuff. Like, who cares?
Like, the charm of it is the funky.
Exactly, that's like, the whole point of it.
Yeah, it's to be funky. Why would you want 4K? I don't know. Whatever. Hey, more power to you. It's fine. I'm not even gonna get on that. So there's that. You get some DLC. You're gonna get.
It was just so funny to see them be excited for that at the conference. I thought that was really funny.
You get some llamas, so
Llama boys.
Simon across the board. Hey, llamas is not something to sniff your nose up at it. So,
oh, shoot.
So there you go, llamas, fucking.
All about that llama life.
Oh my God, llamas. I'm gonna be saying that throughout the whole thing now. Llamas. All right, so anybody got anything they want to put on, you know, I guess Minecraft?
Cool. That game continues to get a lot of content.
It gets a lot of, oh my God, fuck you, Minecraft.
Yeah, I'm not a Minecraft player, but if you are a Minecraft player, like, you get so catered to.
Yeah, you do.
They definitely listen to the community. They definitely listen to the community.
They give a lot more content since being bought out by Microsoft than when they were, like, on their own.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like a lot more content. And I still remember when they were under whatever that dude's name was, and he just refused to put it on a Nintendo console because he was like a dick.
Yeah, he's kind of.
And then the second Phil Spencer took over, like a month later, it was on the Wii U.
And that was the best thing that they had ever done, because the Nintendo users really did actually take to Minecraft. So all those people who were crying about Minecraft, the freaking Miiverse were not kidding. They put their mouth where their voices were. So
yeah, they wanted Minecraft.
They wanted Minecraft a lot. They were like, "Look, put this shit on here now." And yeah, home dude was like, "No,
fuck.
no Minecraft." I don't know why he was being a dick about it.
I don't know.
Person in general. Have you guys seen the kind of stuff that he says? Like, he's just kind of like,
I don't pay attention to that dude.
Or something.
My thing is, Minecraft is kind of it was kind of obvious to put it on this. Yeah, Minecraft was kind of obvious to put it on like a Nintendo console, though.
That's what happens when a fanboy becomes a developer, dude.
Right?
I guess so.
Is that what's going on for real? Like, I just know he's kind of a jerk, low key.
Whatever.
Whatever. It's not his shit no more. So whatever.
Exactly.
Like he gave it talking trash on Twitter. It's like, famo, I know you like rich and everything. But...
Like, thanks for making the game and all, but it's not yours anymore. So whatever.
Exactly. That's what happens when you get just
too much money. You sold the property. Yeah, you sold the property.
Get money like that, and you
better calm down before you lose that money. You better calm down. Because that's your one-hit wonder you sold.
That's
just
right.
So you know. Right. And that's all it is. It's a one-hit wonder.
Hey, man, if he made that much money, I'll take a one-hit wonder any day.
Right.
I would have kept it, because all the franchise and stuff that goes behind
it was never going to be as big without Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft has definitely made it bigger.
I don't know. It was already pretty big even before.
It was pretty big.
Yeah, but like Microsoft took it to that next level.
Yeah.
They were able to get more merchandise out there and more stuff and get it well known. So
yeah.
But hey, it's cool. At least Minecraft isn't being held from anyone. Like people thought initially that that they were gonna hold it from people, but they didn't. They gave it to everyone. So there you go, crossplay. Oh wait, never mind. Anyway, we're gonna go to the next topic.
Damn.
Unless anybody has anything else extra to say. No, I didn't say anything. I kept going. So, just as a heads up, if Fire Emblem Warriors is received well, the dev team would like to make a sequel. So, coming from a Nintendo Live interview with Yosuke, I'm probably gonna screw up his name, of Koei Tecmo, and Masahiro of Intelligent Systems, Fire Emblem has enjoyed a long history of success in Japan, but has only recently become mainstream in the West with the launch of Awakening for 3DS. With Hyrule Warriors, Zelda was already massively popular. Is it the hope that Fire Emblem Warriors will further establish the Fire Emblem franchise popularity? And Higuchi-san says, well, of course, we'd be happy if players who played this game became more interested in the Fire Emblem franchise and went back to past games and played those. That would be a great result. But basically what we're excited about with this project was having these characters from past FE games show up in a warrior game where they could be involved in the thrilling action of taking on...
Oh, that was pretty.
Hold on.
What is happening?
There, I had to mute you, Nia. Background noise. So anyway, gonna go back to what I was doing. If Fire Emblem's fans play this, and this is the first time they play a Warriors game and they fall in love with the Warriors style games, that's great. If Warrior fans play a Fire Emblem themed game and grow interested in the franchise, that would be great too. If everything goes well and people enjoy the game, it would be great to make a sequel where we could offer many of the other characters that people have been hoping will show up in the game. So yeah, there's more to the interview, but this is the major meat and potatoes. So what is your take on Fire Emblem's getting a sequel if it's received well? We'll start with Darkstar. How would you feel about that?
I think it'd be pretty good for the series overall. Like, this is probably the only... I don't like Warriors games at all. I didn't even like Hyrule Warriors. Like, I thought it was pretty meh. I didn't like it at all. But Fire Emblem Warriors, like, the characters and the setting is perfect for this type of gameplay. It's interesting, and
yeah.
they bleed the soul of Fire Emblem into Hyrule Warriors, but like the Warrior style gameplay, and it works perfectly. So it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel gimmicky. It feels like this is a solid game. It's supposed to look like this. It's supposed to play like this, and it just feels really nice. So if they make another one, You know, if they can get that frame rate to 60 frames per second, that would be great. You know what I'm saying? Just aim for 60.
I don't know what that shitty ass engine they use.
I almost feel like it's too much for them.
Yeah, they use the old engine too.
Yeah, they're using the old engine. They're doing the new engine on their own game.
Yeah, of course.
I can't be mad at that.
I ain't mad about it, but it would have been nice if we could have gotten it. Yeah. The only thing about it is, like, I would have preferred if they had like maybe debuted their game first and then came out with this one, and that way we could have had it.
Then we could have the new engine.
Yeah, so
the one that doesn't run like shit and look terrible.
But the fact that they're bringing this out first and then they debuted theirs is kind of like, y'all couldn't have waited, really? Really? Like nobody was like fiending for this game, but we knew it was coming. We just didn't know when. But okay, I don't know. I think it's a good deal, you know, to get a sequel. I would love to see a sequel.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll do well. Like Hyrule Warriors did $1 million, right?
Yeah. So if this does get a sequel, I hope they put it on the new engine, though. That's all I have to say about that. At the very least, if it does get a sequel, put it on the new engine. And if I don't see Ike in this one,
you already know they're bringing Ike for DLC. I can't even talk.
Fuck
then
DLC.
I will get the game when the DLC comes out.
Right.
You already know that's gonna happen.
Right.
But you know, it's crazy because you know they were saying how they're only gonna be bringing characters from what was it? Shadow Dragon and Fire Emblem Awakening and was it Fates?
Yeah. That's.
It's like I don't know why. I mean, here's what I think.
Like, why limit yourself? I
don't limit it.
Here's what I think they're gonna do. This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna start bringing in more Fire Emblem characters, some different Fire Emblem games, and they're gonna bring them as deals. Because those are the more popular.
It sounds that way. It seems that way. Like they're gonna DLC us to death, and if that's the case, I'm not gonna be buying a game. You're gonna just be throwing DLC at us all day. Like, you should have a large roster to start off with, the main people.
Because, like, Hyrule Warriors had a lot of characters.
Yeah, like, did too,
like, give us a main roster of the main people that everybody's been fiending and want, then DLC characters can be all the other extra people.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, you can't not have Ike in the game, that's crazy.
Like, that's kind of stupid. And Lucina, for that matter.
Yeah, Lucina's not there either.
Lucina's an awakening character, so there's a high probability she's gonna be.
She'll show up eventually. She's a fucking waifu.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. She is.
Yeah, she's like main waifu bae or some crap. Like, ugh, whatever. Bad taste. I don't care. I don't like her. She's not very But you know, it's whatever. We'll see what happens. But this is good news. So they're willing to make a sequel if Fire Emblem Warriors does well, and hopefully we can get the sequel on the better engine, because F my life.
Yeah, I'm not getting it. I don't accept that frame rate. It's not okay to me. Not for a fucking exclusive game. No way.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking. Like Digital Foundry had like the whole video on it, and they were like,
I was watching the video. The game runs like shit. It can't even stay at 30 consistently. That's not acceptable.
Are you serious?
I don't know.
Like, what's it looking like?
I don't know. Dog, like whenever, like, you know, like when the characters come on screen to do the little introductions and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like the frame rate drops heavy.
It dips so bad. Like there's still time to fix that stuff, so like there's still a chance they can get it sorted. But there's no way that game's gonna turn into a 60 FPS game from now till then. They'll probably just get it stable 30, which is annoying. Yeah. Because that game is not like a beautiful game. So I don't. It's just that shitty engine they're using. Not
the character models do look really nice though.
Yeah, they did. It looks a lot better than what Hyrule Warriors look like, but at the same
it's definitely better than Hyrule Warriors.
It's a definite step up from that, because I saw them when they showed side by side. But it's not much. Yeah, that's not saying much.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, I like my hack and slash games, so we'll see what happens before I purchase it. It's not a day one buy, definitely not.
The second travesty is no Ike, so it's like, 2 strikes.
Well, yeah, that's 2 strikes. Yeah,
it's a double whammy. Not happy.
That's a double whammy.
But I'm sure it'll do well, because
people like Fire Emblem now.
Fire Emblem is big now, so that's good.
Yeah, so it should do well despite the.
Oh my god, I'm getting destroyed here.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like Fire Emblem, so I'm probably gonna scoop it regardless. Like, hopefully they patch it up or something, because that sounds. I haven't seen that.
It's just not gonna be a day one.
Go watch it on Digital Foundry. They have a whole video up.
Yeah, they got a video up on it. I'm still gonna get it at some point, but I need to know Ike is in it, and hopefully they do some kind of update to it. Maybe between now and before it comes out, they'll fix some of the issues with it. Hopefully, but I mean, I won't hold my breath. We'll see what happens. But it's something that I do plan on picking up because I did want Fire Emblem Warriors. So gotta take what I can get. I guess gotta take what I can get. Maybe I'll sucker somebody else into purchasing it for me for my birthday. Hell yeah, there we go. Problem solved. Moving on to the next topic, unless anybody has anything else they would like to add.
No.
All right. Well, speaking of frame rates and all that goodness, Monster Hunter Double X Switch version will run at 30 FPS. Isn't that lovely? Yes, Double Cross. This is totally
you mean that
awesome.
3DS port?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how this is a thing considering it's a 3DS port, but okay.
Yeah. Is it because they want consistency with the 3DS?
No,
is that what it is?
No, I'll tell you exactly why. There's a very simple reason for all this. It's because they have to get this game out way before Worlds comes out on PS4. They have to get it out as soon as possible. So getting this game to 60 frames per second, that would have taken too much time, too much extra work. They said, fuck that. We know they'll buy it regardless. So fuck it. Just make it 30 frames and then next year, early
Sounds like
bad reality.
It is. That's
when does Worlds come out?
Early.
Worlds is next year.
Next year.
Okay, so they had all whatever. Anyway, all right. So Monster Hunter Summit tournament took place in big site in Tokyo over the weekend, and players were able to try out Switch version of Monster Hunter Double X at the event. Monster Hunter. Professor Adam Ivanko, best known as something or other. What is that? Gaijin Hunter also attended the event and tried out Monster Hunter Double Cross. His findings confirmed that the game will run at 30 FPS on the Switch, just like the 3DS version before it. Cross-play between both the Switch and 3DS versions will be supported. Double Cross will release for the Nintendo Switch on August 25th in Japan, and you won't get to see it at all in North America. Awesome.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's not coming in North America. I forgot about that.
Just thought I'd throw that out there because it's kind of like it's 30 FPS.
It's irrelevant.
We're not getting it. It's like we're not getting it, so who cares? Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're not getting it, so what do we care? Anybody else got anything on it?
I don't know about this anymore.
Capcom just continuously proves how shitty they are.
They're just cutting corners, fam.
They're the funniest shits ever because they'll do something good and then suddenly they'll go right behind themselves and undermine something good that they did. It's like, why do you do this to yourself? You shoot yourself. You're made for Nintendo. You shoot yourself in the foot just like Nintendo.
That's true.
You're so made for Nintendo. Like, my God.
Yo, they're like the biggest fucking backstabbers of the Switch.
Oh my God.
You know what
they really are, though.
You know what's sad about this though? The fact that Xbox is gonna get a Dragon or a Monster
Hunter
game
just
before
disgusting.
The Switch does.
That's very disgusting.
But you know, wait and see, right? But whatever.
But whatever.
I mean, I
continuing.
don't care. It's whatever. But Capcom is
like I said, if that shit if it ain't coming over here, it's a non-factor.
It's irrelevant. Like if it doesn't come to North America, it might as well not exist in our world.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist. Like at least not to me.
As far as I'm concerned, that game doesn't exist because I don't speak Japanese.
Exactly.
Right.
Even if I import it, I can't read that shit.
It doesn't even have English text. It's like it's
now see
as I had some people go, just import the game. I'm like,
I don't know any of
English.
They're so stupid. No, this is funny. This would be interesting. Now, if Capcom was smart, just because they don't want to bring it over to North America, they would have made some translation version of it. Keep it in Japanese speaking, but you could have did the translation in English.
Just translate it. You don't even have to do the voices.
You don't have to do the voices.
There's no voice acting in the game.
That's what I'm saying. Just translate it. Just translate it and keep it in Japan. People would have purchased it.
Then we could have imported it at least.
We could have imported it at least.
Yeah, even though that's still ridiculous, but whatever.
It's still ridiculous, but it would have been an alternative.
That's an option.
But you know, for all you Japanese speakers out there, good luck, Chuck. Not us.
Go translate the game for us and repackage it for us.
And on the heels of the 30
oh
FPS,
my God, it's fucking camel.
God. On the heels of the 30 FPS hype, we got Sonic Forces on the Switch. Also,
this is the biggest travesty of the night, I think.
It's like really not a surprise. So Sonic Forces on the Switch is clocked in at 30 FPS. The PS4, Xbox One, PC versions are running a smooth 60 FPS.
Wait, hold on, wait. I didn't hear about this. What the fuck?
You didn't hear about this?
You didn't hear about this? Late to the party. Let me finish and we'll get into this. The overall presentation in the Switch version is pretty much the same as other versions, albeit with some texture differences. When we look at third-party ports available on Xbox One, PS4, and Switch, seeing some scaling back in the Switch version only makes sense. Why? What? Anyway, okay, so I don't know. I don't know what the excuse is. I need to hear what the excuse is for this fuckery.
The Switch can't run Sonic, but it can run Mario Odyssey at 60 frames.
Exactly. What the?
Right?
Nah,
that doesn't make sense
at all. What the fuck?
Laziness. Like, they did all the other versions, decided they were gonna put it on the Switch, and didn't want to even take the time to scale it. Like,
when I first made the video, like my news video talking about this, I had so many people coming in there and damage controlling. It's like, oh, you gotta understand, like, this was originally a PS4 and Xbox game. You should just be happy it's coming to the Switch. I'm like, no. Why would anyone be happy with a version that looks worse and runs worse and costs the same?
Wasn't the previous Sonic games on the Wii U 60 frames per second though?
I don't know.
I feel like
a few of them were.
Some are, some are not, apparently. Yeah. But like, this game is 60 FPS on the competition.
Yeah.
And it's not the hardware, because you can just scale down the graphics.
We'll just make it 30 FPS so people will go to the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC and buy it for the better frame rate.
Like, it's mostly Sega's fault, but at the same time, like Nintendo's allowing this.
They need to work on their quality.
Like, Nintendo should be like, nah, take this trash back, fam, and go up to optimize it.
You can't have this nonsense. It's not fair to people who want to buy it on the Switch. It's just simply unfair.
You know, I remember, like, during the 360 generation, like, people used to get so angry because Microsoft had this clause for third-party games that if they were to put third-party games on their system, like, there has to be, like, parity.
Parity, yeah.
And, like, a lot of people were really mad about Microsoft, but to be honest, that's smart.
That's smart.
That's
like,
smart.
You're protecting your user base. You're protecting your brand. And the fact that Nintendo allows these third-party developers to just put any old thing on their consoles, like, that's a reflection on them. And it's not only a reflection on them, but you're basically in agreement that this company treats your user base like this.
Yeah,
and I think that's really, to me, it's not even about the fact that it's running 30 frames. Because if it's locked, I don't care. I would prefer 60, but 30 is okay if it's locked. But like, it's just the principle. The principle is really what makes me upset. Because, you know... It's like you're allowing these companies to give you watered-down versions of games that are on other systems. Like, we can't have this. Like, if we're getting any kind of games, if we're getting games that are multi-plat elsewhere, we should have parity. We shouldn't be having this whole...
Yeah, there's no reason for it, because...
There's none.
Again, it's hardware-wise, it won't look visually as good. But, like... We're talking about frame rate here. Like, you can't cut that shit in half.
That's frame rate. We're not talking about visuals.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you right now, okay? And I was talking to you guys about this in the Team Red chat a couple of days ago. Yeah. And I had my old card. My old card was comparable to maybe a 500, 600 series card, right? And I was playing Titanfall 2 at 60 frames. It didn't look as pretty, but I was running Titanfall 2 at 60 frames. You cannot tell me that the Switch is weaker than a 500 to 600 series card. So
like before I upgraded to my card, I had a GTX 750 Ti, which is very similar to like an Xbox One. And I was running pretty much every game in 60 FPS, but sometimes you have to like lower down the resolution,
you might have
or like lower down the visual settings. But like, and that's what they would do with the Switch.
Thank you. And when I tell people like, okay, like there's certain games that you know for sure would not work on the Switch because of the sheer gravity of them. Like games like Anthem, for sure. Like
probably won't run on the Switch.
Probably would not run optimally on the Switch. But you cannot tell me a game like Sonic Forces
can't do it.
Cannot run 60 frames per second. Like you can't tell me that. Because and even I saw like when it was the whole debate about Overwatch coming to the Switch. People are playing Overwatch right now on integrated graphics cards. You cannot tell me that the Nintendo Switch cannot run these, especially games like Sonic Forces. Get out of here.
But they actually believe this
and
stuff.
they believe it.
Like, you gotta be crazy if you think the Switch can't run Overwatch.
It can. The devs even say
they're running that game on. They're running that game on Intel integrated graphics.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're crazy. And I even got on Real Gamer. Shout out to Real Gamer. That's my homie. But I got on Real Gamer the other day because he made a video the other day saying the same thing about how Sonic Forces is probably not going to be able to run optimally at 60 frames because of the hardware. And I'm just like,
I wish people would get off this hardware shit. Like, people don't seem to understand. It's not the hardware.
I should have corrected him when we were doing that morning show. That's my bad. I didn't correct him.
We're not in that era anymore with Nintendo at this point.
It's not a hardware issue.
It's a Sonic game, though.
It's a damn Sonic game.
And even if it was, it's a Sonic game.
It's a Sonic game.
It's a Sonic game, guys. Like,
Sonic,
it's a very linear game that looks okay. It's not like visually amazing,
right?
And we're talking about Mario Odyssey here, open world game that looks a hell of a lot better, and that's 60 FPS. They could have just bumped the resolution down. I don't even think they bumped it down to 720. They could have did that. And then brought down the texture quality and stuff. So like, there's other stuff they could have done, but like Sega just didn't do it. They're like, fuck it, give them 30 FPS. Like they
basically got lazy, and then Nintendo is no better for just being like, well, okay, we'll take this. Like, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of the blame is on. Obviously, a lot of the blame is on Sega because they're making the damn game.
Most of it is on Sega, but it is Nintendo's fault.
This is Nintendo's fault.
And I get it because back in the day, Nintendo was super strict on third parties. Like, they had all these crazy guidelines, and they tried to.
They need to go back to a little bit of that.
It's not a bad thing.
They need to have a little bit of that strictness, just a little bit, not a lot, because we don't want them going away, but enough to keep it in check. Basically,
whatever. It's not open world; it's sandbox. It's the same idea. It's a hell of a lot more open than Sonic,
right? It's a hell of a lot open than a Sonic game, and it's doing more than a freaking Sonic game.
Yeah, that Sonic game is linear as shit.
Either way, it can still get 60 frames per second. So that's squash that. Like,
like the damn game on the go. Yes, you can take it on the go with 30 frames per second.
You can take it on the go with 30, but like 60 in the dock should be a thing. Like, I'm like, first of all, if you have a Switch, you shouldn't settle for nothing less than nothing less than phenomenal.
We're not in a fucking peasant situation anymore like the Wii U. Like, this console is popular and people are buying it. It's sold out everywhere.
And they're still giving us peasantry like handouts.
Peasant nonsense.
Yeah, they're doing this peasantry handout bullshit.
I hate that shit.
And my thing is if you sit back and just allow it to happen, you're gonna constantly keep getting shit like this. Like, if we speak up and let Nintendo know, we want parity across the fucking board. Like that bullshit with the fucking games that costed $10 extra and all that shit. If we have a setback on that, we're gonna get games that cost more on Switch as opposed to other consoles, or we'll get games that are 30 frames per second as opposed to 60 on other consoles, which usually is 30 on other consoles, which is surprise the fucking me.
The crazy thing about this too is that most of the people who are probably gonna buy this game are probably gonna be on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nobody on Xbox worrying about Sonic.
Nobody. Yeah, they don't care. They're not getting it on no Xbox and PlayStations.
They have hundreds of games to choose from. They're not worried about Sonic.
A few of them here and there, but
PS4 and Xbox.
It's been this will be the first one in what, like 3 years or something? Because like Wii U had a three game deal.
Yeah.
Fan base has moved over to Nintendo.
But like even so, like
it's
just stupid. It's the principle of the matter. You shouldn't settle for less. Period. Point blank.
If you want a perfect example, like recently, Grand Theft Auto took out mods and people spoke out, and then Rockstar brought the mods back.
Yeah. So
on PC, because like people were like, "Nah, we're not fucking having it," and then they brought it back. But like, people just want to. I don't know what it is, but on the console side, people are just so content with
just getting mediocrity.
Exactly.
Oh, it's fine. At least we got it. Don't make it.
That's why we have a console like the Xbox One S and the PS4 Pro. That's why we have shit like that garbage. Because people are just okay with everything. Like, nobody should have been okay with a new console coming out after what, 3
Like,
years?
And
It
not
does
even-
the same
not
thing.
even delivering 1080 60 first.
It
Like,
doesn't
here
even
you go,
deliver the
bro,
promise that they
4K.
promised back in 2012. Like,
4K
get outta
30
here.
frames, 4K and 30, not
They
even
can't
4K.
even do 1080 60, which is what they promised us this gen.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten that yet.
Nope.
But you want to go 4K? You're not gonna
But
get
you know,
4K.
it's a beast.
You know,
It's a
there's
beast.
a lot
Hashtag it's
of
a
people
beast.
out here that
It's a
like, why
beast.
does it matter if the games are 60 frames? Like, people have to understand, like,
They don't
frame
because
rate
those
is directly
it
This is
really,
not like we're talking about graphics
like
here.
it's not even a
It's not
graphics thing.
frame rate affects your
Frame
gameplay.
rate
It
directly
affects your
affects
gameplay.
gameplay. And like,
People don't
if
seem to
you're not worried
understand
about
that, though.
gameplay, then you probably don't even like games.
Yeah, exactly.
See, look
Like-
at this game I'm playing right now. Look at this choppy ass shit.
That's frame rate you're looking at.
This is just shitty ass frame rate.
That is literally frame rate right there. All the
This is an
all the
old-ass
glitchiness, all that glitchiness, all
Look at
that
all this, like, it's
stuttering,
just freezing randomly.
freezing up. Man, that is what frame rate does. That is a prime
This is
example.
like poor
And
frame rate.
so you want this on a Sonic game, and you know how fast he gotta go.
But this game was from a
Gotta
long
go
time.
fast. He
It
ain't
is
gonna be
what it
going.
is. But we're talking about a 2017 game still doing this kind of crap.
Yeah, like this is old school gaming, so that's fine. It's whatever. But we're in 2017 going on 2018 soon, and we still talking about frame rate issues.
Right?
That's what I'm talking about. And
Like that,
and-
that should not be a thing in
And,
And, like,
today.
I wouldn't even care as
Gaming
much if
world.
all the versions were 30. The thing that irritates me is because only this one is.
only this
Yeah.
version.
Only
That's the
Switches
thing.
is 30.
That's why it's so annoying. Because like the
yeah.
Xbox version is 60, the PS4 is 60, and obviously the PC is as high as you want it. Really,
Yeah,
But,
whatever
like,
you want.
like it's just so irritating. There's no reason
Yeah.
for it. That's the other thing. Is that there's literally no reason
There's
for
no
it.
reason. And,
None.
like freaking common sense over here in my chat. He's like, console only gamers really don't get it. And I hate to be that, but like me and Alex, like y'all know me and Alex, like we have PCs, like we've been playing PC for a while. And I don't try to come on here and sound like I just know everything, but PC gaming
Right.
has shown me some stuff that I didn't even really think about on the console side of things before I started playing on PC. Literally the only difference between putting a game on something like the Nintendo
shit.
Switch and something like the Xbox and the PlayStation is literally a setting.
Right.
That's literally it. It's a setting. Like literally. Like I could go into a PC game right now and take out like some of the shadows, like decrease some of the aliasing, stuff like that. And I can still have an optimal experience. Like that's literally the difference. Like, and that's why I get so triggered when people talk about, oh, where's the hardware? Like, no, fam. We are in an age right now where
We're living in a
console-
generation where a GTX 1050 Ti can give you 4K 60 in Forza.
Thank you, because we're living in an age of optimization, fam. Like it's like people don't understand what that means. Optimization.
And that's more apparent in console because like they have a limited hardware, but like
Yes.
it could have been done, but they're just not doing it because like you look at all the games that Nintendo's released: Splatoon 2, 60 FPS; ARMS, 60 FPS; Mario's going to be 60 FPS;
Yep.
Mario Kart is 60 FPS. All of those games look better than Sonic.
Yep.
You can't hear Nia, you guys?
Huh?
They say they can't hear Nia.
Well, everyone's volume is the same on here, so I don't know what to tell
I
you.
don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this one thing and I'm done because I'm like legit triggered. But like I
She's
think that
triggered.
really,
Oh shit!
really what needs to happen, and I've said this, that this needs to be like console games need to start having settings
Yeah.
so that I can optimize my own experience. So
Like,
that we
why
don't have,
don't
like,
they?
these
They're pretty
issues.
much watered down PCs at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just give me settings in a console game and let me choose whether or not I want 60 frames or not.
Yeah, because like I don't want these idiots who want 4K 30 not to get their shitty 4K 30, but like they should be able to play in a terrible frame rate if they want. But like when we're talking with consoles like the Pro and the Scorpio, 1080 60 shouldn't even be a problem.
Yeah.
But like they just don't do it. Like a game has to be specifically patched for it. Like that's so dumb.
Just let me choose, fam.
Just let-
Just let me choose. And like people are like, how is that gonna work on a console? Like they're literally doing it right now, a boost mode on the PlayStation 4.
They're doing it, yeah. Like Rise of the Tomb Raider does it on the Pro. You can choose performance mode or graphics mode. Like it's not hard. Other companies can do it as well.
Common sense, it obviously depends on the game.
Yeah.
Because he's like, are you sure that a 1050 Ti isn't just for 1080 60? They never specify 4K 60. But it depends on the game.
Well, they said recommended settings.
It depends highly on the game. Like, some games can do it, some games obviously cannot.
Oh, it's not for every game, just Forza. Because Forza's easy to run. Which is why I was laughing so hard when everyone was so excited that the Xbox could do 4K, and Forza's like, it's a fucking racing game, calm down.
The only moving parts of that game is the car, so...
Exactly, everything else is stationary.
Alrighty then.
Alright,
So
I didn't mean to turn this into a PC versus console thing, but
yes, you did.
Like, the things that people are saying about Sonic Forces is just wilding me out, fam. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's hilarious. That's why I just don't even argue anymore. It's like you can't change. You just can't change people.
I'm gonna get it on my PlayStation or
I'll
PC,
probably get it on PC.
Not the damn Switch, that's
I'm
for
not
sure.
buying it on Switch.
Yeah,
No.
I might get it on PC.
I was excited to get it on the Switch.
I wanted to get it on the Switch, but like...
I'm hearing, like, somebody was telling me even Sonic Mania is going to be $30 on the Switch.
It's
Pause.
Okay, pause the freaking... Okay, hold up. Pause, my homie. How is that even a thing?
Like, that's still not confirmed yet, but I hope that's not true.
We'll find. We'll talk about that if it's confirmed.
If it comes, yeah.
Oh my god. Let's just move on. Let's just move on because this is
Third parties, man.
this will
Third parties, man.
Yeah,
Third
this will
parties.
this will wild us out. But there's third parties for you. So anyway, so the SNES Classic Edition officially announced, and it's going to be releasing September 29th.
Hell yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of spiel here that I'm not going to read, but we're going to talk about the games at the very least. So what games are going to be on this thing? So we have Contra 3, the Alien Wars. Damn it, it couldn't have been fucking Contra. Okay.
Before you start that, it comes out September 29th. It's going to be $80.
$80. $80. Oh, that's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. And it's already sold out, just in case you're wondering. So keep a lookout for
I wouldn't say it's sold out. Something like North America hasn't even started opening pre-orders.
Yeah, they haven't opened pre-orders yet.
I think it's only sold out in UK.
It's sold out in the UK right now. They're still waiting to open it over here.
Up.
But be on the lookout. I would advise people to go find the places that they're at and put a notice. But so Contra 3, the Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Dream Course, The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, hell yeah, Star Fox, and then Star Fox 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, hell yeah, Yoshi Island, and let me see, all of these games be considered in particular, I'm just checking to make sure ain't nothing else on here. And it says all of these games would be considered classics by anyone's standards, and some of them in particular, Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy 3, Earthbound, and Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, are massive role-playing games that can take dozens of hours to complete, even for super fans who have played all of these games multiple times. So, there you have it. Those are the games on the list here.
That list is a who's who of the Super Nintendo generation.
And you know what's funny is I never actually... I know this is gonna be blasphemy, but I never actually got to own a SNES, so I have to get one.
No,
Good God!
And I want
it. Sega baby, that's fine.
So yeah, my dad came home with a Sega Genesis one day. I was like,
you poor
okay.
child.
It's whatever.
I was fortunate enough.
I love my Sega Genesis. I had some wonderful memories, so I ain't worried about it. But I had a friend who lived next door who had the SNES, so I did get to play all the games. I just didn't have one. That's all. So that's fine. But on to that, you also have Nintendo is announcing that they will have significantly more SNES Classic Edition units than an NES Classic, only planned for 2017. So they're only selling it through this year, and then I guess it's going to be discontinued. So let me read this little excerpt.
Working on the N64 mini.
Right? Pretty much. We aren't providing specific numbers, but we will produce significantly more units of Super NES Classic Edition than we did for the NES Classic Edition. Super Nintendo Entertainment System Super NES Classic Edition. Oh my god, you guys, with this name, is currently planned to ship for September 29th until the end of the calendar year of 2017. At this time, we have nothing to announce regarding any possible shipments beyond this year. Our long-term efforts are focused on delivering great games for the Nintendo Switch system and continuing to build momentum for the platform, as well as serving the more than 63 million owners of the Nintendo 3DS family and not moving them over to the Switch. Like, god damn it, you need to move them people over. But yeah, so for the most part, they plan on making more, putting more of the Super NES Classic in production, which is something we definitely need. I personally am not going to hold my breath because I don't think they're gonna. I think it's going to be some shady dealings with the people behind the scenes, not Nintendo themselves, but the people at the stores.
You already
because
know.
Yeah, because after working with GameStop and seeing what happens, most of these people at the stores tend to hoard them for themselves, purchase them just before stores open, and then whatever's left is what they give to the general public. So be on the lookout for stupidity happening.
That's why you pre-order.
Standing in lines and all that good stuff. You can pre-order, but there's a possible chance that your pre-order will still get taken by an in-store clerk, depending. If you pre-order it,
that clerk is gonna get a fucking boot in his face.
I'm just giving you a heads up. If you pre-order in store, be mindful the clerks might be stupid and do some shit like that. Pre-order it online is your best option to have it sent to your house.
Yeah, because warehouse people don't care.
Yeah, the warehouse people, they're gonna get they're gonna get theirs eventually, I guess.
It's just the dudes in the stores, they care.
They work there so they can get the 411 and whatnot.
People like Real Gamer out there stealing all of them at the
stores. You got your heist guys who your scalper guys. They're making heists and shit, getting the shipment of the fucking trucks and shit. They're stopping the truck shipments. That shit is crazy. Yeah, with those freaking amiibos, they did that.
Man,
oh yeah.
All I'm gonna say is I told y'all, I want one of these, but I'm gonna force denial myself to not want one, just in case I'm not able to get my hands on one.
How sad. How tragic.
So I won't feel because don't get me wrong, I had an NES as a kid. But I didn't grow up with the NES, whereas with the SNES, that's the era that I grew up with. So I grew up with what I grew up with. So this console is more appealing to me than the NES Classic was, and a lot of these games I didn't play because I was poor as a kid. So I really only played just
You guys didn't have rental stores back then?
We did, but we didn't really go often. It wasn't a priority,
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I would rent games because I couldn't afford to buy them. But I rented a shit ton of Super Nintendo games back in the day.
Yep. Rentals, man, those were the days. So, also continuing with some SNES Classic Edition, the Star Fox 2 has to be unlocked by completing Star Fox, Star Fox.
They're actually releasing Star Fox 2, which was never released, which is crazy that they're actually doing that.
I'm glad that they're doing that.
That is so cool.
That makes it even better. You have to unlock the first level because you already know you're just gonna have to go through Corneria and you're done. It's not hard.
Yeah, it's just the first level.
I don't know. I bet it's news, so we just gotta mention it at least.
Yeah. So even for super fans who have played all of the games multiple times, the inclusion of the never before released Star Fox 2 game will offer them something entirely new to enjoy if they can unlock it by proving their skills in the original Star Fox game. So basically, you just gotta pass that level in the Star Fox game.
Corneria is so easy. How's that?
It's so freaking easy. I don't know. Some people. I mean, when you first, I don't know.
They might as well if you want to prove your skill, quote unquote, they should make you beat the whole game.
Right?
Yeah. True.
That would be funny, but
easy, guys.
Yeah, but
Corneria
it's fine. If you can't pass Corneria,
Corneria, why are you even playing Star Fox?
That's what I'm saying.
That is the question.
Star Fox, for real.
It's not that hard, but yeah, that's just a tidbit of information to throw out there for folks to,
Oh shoot.
That's pretty cool. I'm just amazed that they're actually chose this
Star Fox 2.
Isn't that so un-Nintendo like? They're doing a Nintendo thing.
And I saw there's a news article, the original devs of Star Fox 2 didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
And they heard about it during the Super Nintendo announcement, and then they just got together and they went out to have drinks and celebrate that their game finally got released.
How are they gonna not know though? How are they gonna not be told that their game's being released finally?
Oh, I think because they wanted to keep it a secret, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but he's the person who directed it though, right? He was probably sitting at home eating his cereal, what? spitting cereal all out.
Your game's not
He's
released.
like, my 20-year grudge with Nintendo is over.
It's over.
They finally released my game.
Yay!
That's so funny.
Alrighty.
It's just, I'm just so amazed they're
I
actually doing that. It's so cool.
I know.
The only games
Good-
that are
good news,
missing,
good
as far
news.
as I think, is Chrono Trigger and Turtles in
Oh my
Time.
god!
Yes!
Why? Oh,
Chrono
I was hoping
Trigger.
that but you know what? Chrono Trigger is like worth so much money now.
Yeah,
Like,
but that
yeah,
would bring down the price of Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. But you know what? It's funny because I guess you could say the same thing about Earthbound. I guess it really doesn't matter because they actually brought that to the
Yeah, that's on the Virtual Console now. Who cares?
So,
Yep.
you know. But like,
It
a
was,
lot of those
it was
games
probably
are worth
Square
so
that
much
said
money.
no.
Yeah, probably. They're like, look, we already gave y'all what they give us: Secret of Mana, freaking
Yeah,
Mario.
I would have had
RPG,
Chrono Trigger than Secret of Mana, but
and,
whatever.
I like
what's that
Secret
other
of
game?
Mana.
Final Fantasy 3.
But yeah, I would
Yeah,
probably.
Final Fantasy 3's on there too.
yeah.
Like the list is like really good, especially when you compare it to the NES Mini.
Yeah.
Not
Like the
very
NES Mini, a lot of those games are like garbage.
But you know,
Yeah.
the SNES in general just had better games than the NES, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
GOAT.
definitely.
Nothing will ever
It's like
beat the
the greatest
SNES.
console of all time.
Exactly. Am I gonna
It
die
is
from
the
this?
greatest.
There we go.
It is the greatest.
I just hope we can all get one.
Yeah.
I know, right? Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Well, I know I'll get one, but I hope you guys can too.
You probably won't have a problem because your area tends to have a lot of stuff. Our area.
I don't have
over
to
here-
worry.
I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to find one.
I'm probably gonna get one because I got inside people and I've been talking to all my GameStop
Yeah, why don't
people,
you just join a bunch of giveaways?
So
Coupon,
see if I can get
fam,
one.
look, if you can hook me up,
if
fam,
I can get
got
you, if
I
I can
promise
get
got you,
another
sis.
one, I'll see if I can get another one and I'll just send it to you. Just send me some PayPal cash and we're good.
I got you, boo. I got you. I swear to
see what we can
God.
do.
I need this thing. Like, I sold my NES Mini because I have no attachment to the NES Mini because I didn't grow up with the NES. The Super Nintendo is my console, so like I have to have this thing in my life. And hopefully I can get two so I can sell one.
Yeah, me too. Try to get at least one.
Like scalpers already have them on eBay months before you can actually buy it.
Right?
I think it's gonna be like $400 or $500.
Yeah, they're like $500 already. It's like, but you don't even have
You don't
one.
even have it yet. It's not even out yet. Like,
That's crazy.
Stop this.
Like they
Stop
get
this
the jump
madness.
early, fam.
Yeah,
ugh,
Hilarious.
this is funny.
this gonna be funny. We're gonna see.
You
We'll
guys
see
think
what
they're
happens.
gonna do an NES Mini? N64 Mini?
I don't
They
know.
probably will.
I don't know. They might. If they do, I'll definitely get that one.
I don't
have
feel
to.
like N64 games, they don't age
They didn't
well.
have a lot.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That yeah, their stuff doesn't really.
I don't
Those
know what
first
they're
generation
gonna do.
3D graphics are just so bad.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that doesn't even matter.
I
That doesn't even
wouldn't
matter.
care.
People are gonna buy it.
I
They're
wouldn't
gonna
They're
make
still
it.
gonna.
Oh yeah, people are still gonna buy it. It's just
I
like,
mean,
I
I'll
don't,
buy N64 games on the freaking virtual console. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I'll still get it.
whoa, what is that? There we go. These fucking
All right.
sticks.
So, anything else you guys like to add to that topic before we move on?
I saw like some people are complaining that it's $20 more than the NES Mini.
It's
But, like,
worth it,
It
fam.
has
You
more
You
games.
guys gotta look at the game
It's
selection.
worth
It's
it, dude.
more. It's totally worth it.
'Cause,
This is some
uh,
young bucks. These those young bucks. They don't
don't
understand.
know.
They don't understand
They
that
don't
half
get
of
it,
these
yeah.
games are cost more than the $80 to
That's
get them
what
by
I'm-
themselves.
that's
They
what
don't
Yeah,
I'm
because
understand
like,
that.
I saw some
They don't
people say
understand
some
that.
dumb shit like,
Like,
why
it's
don't you just go
cost
buy
too
a
much.
Super Nintendo and buy all the games separately?
Because
Like,
it'll
are you,
cost more.
like, are you
stupid?
retarded? Like,
Like,
Are you
you know how
retarded?
expensive those games are?
Like in a
They're-
Super
they're
NES right now,
young.
you can get for $60 or $70, but the games itself are where the money is going to come
Yeah.
from.
And I saw like this is
like,
I'm gonna talk
some
about
of them are
Xbox
like-
fans for like a minute now. I saw specifically from Xbox fans. They're like, "Why are people excited about this? I thought nobody likes backwards compatibility."
Boy,
It's
shut
like-
your ass up, nigga.
Just like you just need to shut the hell up. You guys don't understand anything. You're the dumbest people in the gaming community.
Oh my
Like
God.
retro gaming and owning a collectible console has nothing to do with backwards compatibility. Like stupid morons. But I had to bring that up because I saw that on Twitter
They
all
don't-
day today.
They don't understand, like, Nintendo gamers generally have no issues at all with backwards compatibility. Like, you're talking
Yeah,
to
because
the wrong fan
the
base.
Switch is like
Exactly.
the only one that doesn't have
It's
it.
the only one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, most Nintendo gamers are like collectors of all games.
Exactly.
You'll see behind them in their videos or something all the games they've ever collected throughout like the beginning of time. Like
Yes.
And so getting this is just an add-on to their collection. And for those of us who aren't really big on collecting, it's good to have, because these games are hard to fucking find. And even if you find them, they cost too much.
They're a treasure.
They are expensive. So this is a very good deal. $80 to get half of these games that are on this list that cost way more.
And yes, obviously, we are aware you can get all of these games from ROMs. Everyone knows that.
This exactly.
But some people don't want to do ROM.
But like, look at this. Like if you guys think about AAA games, like these games were the AAA. Like this was the creme de la creme of that era. So if you're out here complaining about it being $80 or you don't understand the hype, like I don't know what to tell you.
Well, they're probably
let me put it to you this way.
Oh shit!
How about if like you have a friend who's a Nintendo fan? Let's say I wanted to get Nia and Coupon a present for Christmas, right? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna get them an SNES Mini, or am I gonna get them a thumb drive with some fucking ROMs on it?
like that shit would be no. I would be like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Here's a present for your birthday, Coupon. Here's a bunch of thumb. This got a thumb drive.
The Sega Mini or whatever the hell that thing's called.
Yeah, here's a thumb drive with a bunch of freaking ROMs on it. Oh.
Merry Christmas.
Like,
oh my god.
Like really right now? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Play them? Like,
play them. I saved $80. Play them.
Like, no, but no, just no. Anyway,
they don't understand, man.
Most of the disconnect is from the younger crowd. They don't understand because they weren't around during that time. Y'all, there wasn't even a seed in your daddy's balls. Like, get out.
Oh damn.
You feel me, though.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that out there. You just weren't there. You don't know, and you'll never understand, and it's okay. I forgive you for that.
Shit.
We're gonna move on to the next topic. So, Reggie. Oh, Jesus, Reggie. Okay, anyway, so Nintendo on 4K, being a limited audience, switches online subscription service, eSports, and fan feedback. So, basically, Reggie has some choice things to say about 4K, you know, their fan feedback, some eSports talk, and stuff like that. So I'm just going to kind of read what he's saying. A lot of this is a lot of weird jargon that I can't even understand, and hopefully you guys can help me. Yeah, it's Reggie. Like, it's PR stuff, like, you know. So his thoughts on, I'm going to mute you again, Nia.
Sorry, y'all. So
he's talking about 4K on this portion. So on the limited audience of 4K, the Nintendo mission is to reach as many consumers as possible and to have them engage and have fun with our intellectual property. That's what we try and do. So inherently, we go for a more mainstream audience. Inherently, we want our products to be affordable. We want our products to be easy to pick up and experience, low learning curve. We want our IP to shine as we deliver these experiences. That's the way we approach it. And so what that means is a sweet spot for $300 for the Nintendo Switch, a platform that has Mario and Zelda and Splatoon going against a more limited consumer pool, a higher price point requiring investments in other ways, 4K TVs, what have you. That is a strategy that for us, candidly, is a bit too limited. So I'm going to read each topic after, you know, kind of after we go about talking about them. So his talking's about 4K. Did that make any sense to anybody?
Yeah, well, if you want to break it down into layman's terms, what Reggie's saying is if you want to get into 4K gaming, you need to first buy a 4K console, but you don't just stop there. You have to buy a new 4K TV, which if you want a good one is going to be anywhere around $1,000. That's a lot of money for people to invest just to play some video games, whereas the Switch, you don't even need a TV. You can literally just buy the Switch and go about your business.
True.
Yeah.
But of course, if you already have a TV, which I assume everyone has at least a 720 or 1080p TV, you can use that as well. So that's pretty much what he's saying. It's a lower buy-in to get into the Switch than it is something like the Xbox One or the PS4 Pro.
Cool. What's your thoughts, Nia?
I actually agree with Reggie, man. Like I think sometimes Reggie talk out the side of his neck.
Sometimes.
but this I actually agree with him on. I mean, like how we were kind of saying earlier about the whole specs argument.
Yeah.
We are entering an era of 4K and we haven't even, freaking perfected 1080 60 yet. I think that one thing
we jumped the gun on that.
I think that we've jumped the gun, to be honest. I think that there's
people, like they wanted to get ahead of the curve with the 4K.
There's people out there that definitely care about 4K. I don't want to say that. But there's also a large majority of people that don't really care just yet. I feel that when it comes down to 4K, it's a little bit different than the jump to HD from the GameCube and the PlayStation 2 and to the PS360 and the freaking Wii.
The jump isn't nearly as big.
Yeah, because like in that case, they did kind of misjudge the market. I think that their reluctance to go to HD with the Wii did kind of hold them back a little bit, but it's not really the same deal right now from the jump between 1080 or 1440p to 4K. So I agree with him, man. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, this is one of the very few times I actually agree with Reggie.
Yeah.
I've been saying this since the Pro was first announced. Like, going to 4K is a mistake.
Yeah, I think it should have been.
They're always going to be held back by the standard Xbox and the PS4.
Yeah.
And the hardware is not cheap enough to have a console do 4K properly, as we're seeing. Pretty much every game on the Pro outside of sports games are upscaled. They're not actually 4K. And the Scorpio is going to have the same. I keep calling it Scorpio. The Xbox One X is having the same issue, where a lot of the games aren't 4K. That it's just what it is. The technology's not there yet for them to make it cheap enough for a console price. So why are they focusing on this?
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. This should have been the leap for next gen. Because what are they going to do for the Xbox 2 and the PS5? Like, oh, we're doing 4K again, but this time for real, guys.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it's like that. I think that they just kind of
jumped the gun. We just jumped the gun so much.
I think they thought they were going to get left behind if all these people are running out and buying 4K TVs, but their games are 1080. But it's like, you guys haven't even done 1080p correctly yet, because all your games run at like 1080 medium settings at 30 FPS. Yeah, with like the rare exception of like Uncharted, for example, looks really good, but again, it's 30 FPS.
Right.
But if you had the Pro, you could have, instead of making it 1440p, they could have made it 1080 and improved the frame rate and made it a better game. It'd still be a fucking wall climbing simulator, but it would have been more fluid wall climbing.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it is what it is. It's been out long enough.
Send all your hate mail to Alex.
It's been out long enough. People are ready to accept the truth about that game. It is mediocre.
And all I'm gonna say is this: like, I know somebody in my chat right now is saying that they hate how cheap Nintendo is when it comes down to their hardware. And I'll say this in defense of Nintendo. Actually, I mean, there's things that they do with their hardware that I disagree with. But I understand why they do some of the things that they do. And I will say this. People have to remember that Nintendo is a gaming company. They're a gaming and toy company. They don't have laurels to rest on like Microsoft and Sony with their other divisions. So everything that Nintendo does has to be very strategic. And for Nintendo, it simply makes sense to kind of drag their feet when making something like ultra powerful, something that takes up like mad resources, more R&D time and things like that. And like in this era, one game can bankrupt a company. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And thinking about it like that, we've had so many companies that have gone by the wayside since the freaking seventh generation. So many great companies that have fallen from grace and are no longer here making games. And I think that Nintendo sees this and they don't want to be next. So they have to do some type of self-preservation. Which is also why they're diversifying and they're making like the theme parks and all this other shit that they're doing. Like there's things that they're doing to kind of make up for that, but one thing that Nintendo has always understood, and even when they were making the most powerful consoles in the market or comparable consoles in the market, one thing that they've always understood is that they have to do something that's not only economical for the consumer, but they have to do what's economical for them. And back in the day, the economical thing was to keep up with the latest tech. That was economical then. It's not like that anymore. The quicker and the more rapidly technology evolves, it's just no longer a thing that is something you could do. Just
it's not viable for them anymore.
You know what I mean? So it's like for Nintendo to come out with the console, the Nintendo Switch, I feel like this is the best that they could have done to keep up with tech, because it's not an ultra powerful device, but it does enough for what Nintendo wants to do, and it has the innate native tools necessary, like I was trying to tell Real Gamer the other day, to make games optimally for this device, even if they don't look as good. Because under the hood of the Switch is a very capable system that is easy to optimize games on. Whether or not developers actually take those tools and actually do something with them is up to them, but the tools are there, even if the specs just from raw numbers is not there.
Right.
And then the fact that they're trying to merge their handheld and their home console divisions, like, that's pretty much the smartest thing Nintendo could have ever done. And I'm done with that. I'm gonna move on. I had to address the person in the chat because I feel like it's a fallacy when people say that in regards to hardware in general, especially with the Switch.
Like, just look at what this hardware race has done this generation. They were so hell-bent on giving us more powerful hardware for the PS4 or the Xbox One that they didn't even work on games. And, like, for fucking 3 years, all we got were remasters. Because they invested all their money into hardware, which was already out of date when they released it. And then they had to give us a new version of the same console to play the same games. And they're still outdated. Like, they're never going to win this hardware race. You're never going to compete with PC. You're always going to have outdated hardware because you have to keep it at a console price. Nobody's spending $700 for a console. It's just not happening. Look what happened to the PS3. That was $600. Everyone told Sony to go eat a fucking dick. I don't understand this, like, obsession with hardware when it comes to console. If you want hardware, get a computer.
Yeah,
that's the only way you're going to be able to consistently keep up with tech.
Exactly, it's the only way, because you can just upgrade the video card. You don't have to wait 3 years to get a new console to play the same games at 30 frames per second still.
Yeah.
Like,
you can optimize your games for 60.
Well, they're not going to do that. But, I'm glad that Nintendo didn't focus at all on 4K, because it's completely unnecessary. Can you imagine how expensive the Switch would have been if it was a 4K capable device?
Oh my god!
If these gamers like understand, like, these consoles, like the X and the Pro, are huge wastes of time because, like,
and resources.
Exactly. When the X comes out, I can guarantee you we're gonna see numbers for it like the first month or two, and then
it's gonna fall off just like the Pro.
And then we're gonna hear nothing of it again until the next console, and people aren't gonna say anything. They don't understand that these consoles were a huge waste of time.
Yeah, because the Pro did the same thing.
And it's just going to end up in the same position as the Pro. And
like, if you look at the Xbox One X, like, the reason it's going to take another 3 years to get games is because Phil Spencer spent all his time making this stupid console. And that's why it's going to take another 3 years for you to get exclusives on the Xbox. Like, isn't that ridiculous to you? What if you bought an Xbox One in 2013, and we're in 2017 now, and Phil Spencer's telling you, oh, you got to wait another 3 years? Because I wanted to put our focus in a new console that I wanted you to buy to play the same games.
PS5 will be announced by then, dude. Like,
yeah, PS5 will be announced and out and have more exclusives still. Like, it's ridiculous.
True,
I can't, like, there should be no focus on hardware like this. Like, the Xbox One X should be its own generation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is like one of the very few times I agree with Reggie.
Yeah. You know, usually I'm just like, oh my god, Reggie.
He's talking a lot.
He's a snake oil salesman. He talk out his neck a lot, but this is like actually something like legitimate that I actually agree. Because I feel the same way, but you can't really say that in this gaming market today, or you're
not really.
Can you imagine, like, openly saying, like, well, I actually don't think that 4K is that big a deal? What? Because that's a big conversation right now. 4K. I think the way that Nintendo's doing it is right for them.
Yeah, like,
right
their exclusive games are all running buttery smooth, better than the competition.
Yeah.
Because their focus is graphics and Nintendo's is gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just reality.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, bro.
It is what it is.
All right, so there is more to this article, and Reggie continues to speak on eSports and his approach to it. So he says, we've been fortunate with Smash Brothers to have a franchise that has been very active in this space. What we've been doing is educating our developers and candidly creating some expertise ourselves in how to engage with the community. Now we have a fantastic relationship with Smash Brothers community. I would say that was not true 7 years ago.
I thought Nintendo doesn't listen to their fan base, though. Isn't that
I know,
what I was
right?
told?
That was on me. Let me finish. We think that ARMS can support a very vibrant community. We were in eSports back in 1995 with the very first Nintendo World Championship. We've been in this space. I think what Nintendo is doing, as we always do, is our unique view on this and finding ways to make it a bit more mainstream and a bit more massive. Maybe then others have done. We're going to do it definitely. So who wants to take the floor on this? What are your thoughts on eSports? Go ahead.
Yo, so like as a Smash Bros. Like I'm just saying, like it was for years we were saying like, yo, Nintendo, you need to like acknowledge the competitive Smash community, and they just neglected us.
They just wouldn't do it.
Like the terrible stepson, and I was just like, no, like love us, Dad. We're your son. Like where's the love?
Exactly
It was terrible. It was terrible. And now after they made the new Twitter account and everything, it's just
that's cool. They actually have a separate Twitter for the esports stuff.
Yes, dude, it feels.
That's how you know they're actually invested.
They actually are investing. I remember the struggle, like hearing the Smash players talking about how they just want Nintendo to acknowledge them, and now you got the homies like freaking D1 at freaking Nintendo events.
Yeah, that was hype. That was hype.
I was like, I see y'all, man. I think that's awesome. That's awesome.
Good. I'm glad they finally listened, because that they didn't care. They're just like, nah, fam.
Yeah, they really
patch notes for our games. Yo, you know how frustrating that was, bro. That shit was so mad. Every time they patch Smash Bros. And it's on the hours you have to spend to figure out what the fuck is different with your own.
All right, because they don't do patch notes.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, you need to give us patch notes.
I remember one guy who go, it's better if they don't do the patch notes.
Oh God.
It's more fun. You got to figure it out yourself.
Oh my God.
I'm sure he's enjoying those patch notes now.
So I do have a question. So when you guys got those updates and stuff, like, did somebody go through and kind of like write down what the patch was when they figured it out?
My Smash Corner and there's a couple of YouTubers that would always like they have two Wii U's, right, and update one version and compare
and
each exact
the other
frame.
one the same.
Gotcha.
See what's
pretty smart.
and then make a huge patch note.
Well, that's a good way of doing it.
Hours.
But that takes long.
Hours of work.
Hey, shout outs to those brothers.
That's crazy.
I couldn't do
That's
it.
a lot of work.
But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you gotta do what you. Well, it's good that they stuck it out. So, like, what was the? How did y'all get Nintendo to listen? Was y'all screaming? Was y'all docile and just said, you know what, we'll just let it happen? Like, what were the major factors do you think that got Nintendo to finally listen to the Smash crowd and get on board?
I think they saw it as a marketing opportunity when Smash 4 came out.
Yeah, I think they finally realized they can make money off this shit.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't think you couldn't, like...
Maybe they didn't think it was big enough at the time.
I mean, just start with the small crowd, whatever you think it is, and move from there. It's only going to get bigger if you cultivate it, but you got to start somewhere.
I mean,
fucking Nintendo is retarded.
For years, though.
For freaking years.
And
they didn't.
I don't know,
they
man.
just
I
weren't
don't know
there.
what to tell you, but like, I'm pretty sure they just finally realized you can make money out of it. Who knows?
I guess
because they're so far behind with this kind of stuff.
They're behind on a lot of stuff.
You know what I want them to do? You know what I want Nintendo to do is sponsor their very own esports team, like Luminosity or
that'd be cool.
Like have their own team for like Smash Bros. That would be so.
That'd be nice.
Oh man! My God!
That would be hype. I'd like to see that. Would you try to get in on that? We're having an open forum. You guys can come in and do tryouts. We're gonna get our own Nintendo team from across the world. I don't know, whatever. Got our Nintendo team of Japan, Nintendo team of North America, Nintendo team of UK. That would be cool.
Because they did a good job with the tournament for ARMS. That was fun.
They did a really. I think they did a good job with both.
That was actually fun to watch. That little tournament.
I thought it was.
Yeah,
and me
they
and
did a good
Coupon
job.
got caught up watching a freaking Pokken tournament.
We were, yeah.
Because like at first you're like, what is this? This is whack. And then
it was boring at first, but then like. Yeah, and then it started getting good because like the Black Nerd comedy or whatever, and freaking JD Witherspoon or whatever. That shit was funny. It's like, you guys suck at this, but they were trying.
Black Nerd comedy sucks at games, man. I don't think he even plays games. He just likes watching anime and shit.
He just likes the culture.
He's just a funny dude.
Yeah, I like.
He just likes a lot of nerdy stuff.
Yeah, he's one of those kind of people. He just invested in a culture. He's not really.
Yeah, he's not really into the actual gaming itself.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Which is cool. It's like, whatever.
Well, he seems to know a lot about it for the most part.
Yeah,
I like him. I just think he doesn't play games.
Yeah, he just doesn't play the games.
That's a lot. He's a funny dude, though.
That's cool. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything else to say about the eSports side of Nintendo?
Nah.
It's just cool to see them actually really get into it.
Keep it up, Nintendo.
All right.
That's a good look.
So, all right, cool. There's 2 more topics on this little article, so we'll go to the next one real quick. So, on Nintendo's approach to their online subscription service, Reggie has this to say. The reason we've delayed the full paid subscription is we want to make sure that as we get all of our learnings and we build all of our elements, that we launch something that is robust for the consumer. And as they consider a $20 price point, they say this is a no-brainer. This is something that I absolutely need to participate in given the full range of features that it provides. That's why we're delaying it. And it really is consistent with the overall Nintendo development philosophy. We want when we launch it for it to be great for the consumer and not to be something that isn't fully featured, fully capable. That's why we delayed Breath of the Wild and a look at what we were able to finally launch. Okay, so anybody want to take the floor on this? What do you think?
I think we kind of tackled this a little bit on the podcast in previous episodes, but we just want to, make sure it's good.
It's clear it's not.
Bottom line, it's not. I'm glad that they did delay it. That's the number one thing.
Yeah, if they were kind of release it the way it is now and just start charging people, I think a lot of people would have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, my thing is, personally, if they have to delay it, however long they need to delay it to make sure it is robust and whatever the heck else they were saying, fully capable, robust and all that stuff like they said, then yeah, go ahead, keep delaying. We'll keep playing the free online for the time.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. It's a longer time we don't have to pay. So
yeah, so just get it correct. Like when it comes out, it needs to be correct. Because
just make it good.
There should be no
make it good
after this delay, though.
Yeah, So get all the kinks out, figure what you're gonna do, whatever's going on, and get that shit together. Because when we gotta pay for it, we want to make sure we're paying for something that's worth our investment. And if it's not good, I can't buy it. And then guess what? We can't play our online games. No more Mario Kart.
We're just gonna lose money, man. And hopefully, like a part of me is kind of like salty that it's paid, and then a part of me is actually kind of happy in a way, because what a company like Nintendo, what they see is dollars. Okay, if they see that people are not happy with the service that they're providing and they're showing that discontentment with their dollars, they're more likely to change some stuff. So I just hope that people have because console gamers these days, like, they're just thirsty for everything.
Well, you should just wait and see for everything. Wait and see.
But just hopefully people aren't too afraid or too, too impulsive to not actually go out and speak with their dollars.
Yeah.
Just if
it's garbage, don't buy it. If you don't buy it and they don't see numbers, they're gonna question things. They'll probably throw out a fucking feedback form, be like, hey, what is it?
Worried. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good.
So I think they'll do good because they're actually taking the time to work on it and delay it. And the delay of it makes me feel like they're okay with
My only concern is how they're gonna do voice chat. To be honest, that's the only thing that
You already know, man. It's going to be through the phone.
Alex,
like, why even like it's happening?
Alex, no, they're gonna change. I swear,
They're not.
They're gonna delay it. They have to fix this, man. Like, no.
The only thing they're fixing is the server.
That's not the delay. That's not the delay for it. We're getting that. Get ready to be a
all?
squid and a kid. No, that is not getting adjusted at all. That's
No,
a that's totally
happening,
that is totally happening.
At this point. That's not
That is totally happening.
I think we're gonna get the phone out for the Splatoon game for like the little.
The only reason I say that is because it's so Nintendo, and it's so they always do good things, but then they always do something to shoot themselves in the foot. This is the shot in the foot. We're getting this.
Hopefully that, I mean, if they're smart, they will be trying to figure it out a way to make it work.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Talk
to freaking Discord. Talk to the Discord people, Nintendo.
Yeah,
something.
Don't get your hopes up. That
I'm not, but I mean, if you can do something other, check the other box and go hit up Discord. But I mean, you got DNA for a reason, so you better find another.
I'm starting to doubt if they were a good investment.
I mean, low key, I mean, you got DNA, but then you're over here still having these freaking weird what the fuck moments by Nintendo. It's like,
I have my doubts. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know. We'll see. I guess this is a wait and see game on this one, so we shall see.
It's like you're gonna get the app. Like it's happening. It's
happening.
But
Yeah,
but the thing, like I know we're gonna get the app, but if they can find another way, like I'm good with that.
Like, if we can have some more options, I'm good with that. But I don't. But Nintendo's not going to have options away from what they want you to use.
If they just want to be lazy and just like let Discord put the ad on, like, hey, I'm cool with that, fam.
Like,
be lazy.
Be lazy in that sense because I'm using Discord already. So
they're not innovating though.
That's fine.
That. They don't need to invent.
That's fine.
You're not innovating, then it's legit.
Nintendo can take a break from it. Yeah,
you are setting yourself up.
Nintendo can take a break from innovation. We don't need it.
Exit this.
All right, so they got one last thing that Reggie was talking about, and it's mostly feedback from the fans. And he says this: we certainly look at what our community is saying. But arguably, if all we did was listen to our community, we would be creating content against a handful of intellectual property with a handful of feature sets, because that's typically what the consumer focuses in on. Things that they know, things that they've seen before. And that's all she wrote.
So he's saying that people ask for the same things all the time. I don't understand what he's saying here.
If they work, of course we're gonna ask for the same thing because they work.
Yeah, he's pretty much saying if we left it up to the fans only, we would always just make the same games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Of course it does, because nobody in their mind would ever ask, "Oh, go make ARMS."
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
Nobody was even thinking about some ARMS until it was like nobody was thinking about that.
I'm happy they like go out of their comfort zone. Like that's why we have Splatoon.
Yeah.
That's why we have ARMS. Otherwise, it would just be more Mario games.
Yeah, and you can only have so many.
Right.
Yeah. I like the new direction they're going in with the new IPs. Like, cause they're still very Nintendo, even though they're new and unique.
Right.
So I would like to see them do some non-Nintendo like things too, as well. I would like to see them kind of branch out and do a little bit more like modern things. Like go ahead and make that Star Tropics like Tomb Raider or something. That's what I would like to see.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I would like to see that.
Questions, anybody? If you guys got some, throw them out there. But yeah, that was pretty much it for that article. I just do have one quick question. How would you guys feel about Nintendo getting into 4K?
They'll do it eventually, but not with this console.
I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Hopefully not.
As long as they're doing it within a decent time frame, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. Maybe if say Nvidia is able to do some kind of trickery with the new chip, because you know we're gonna get a new Switch. You know we're gonna get a new Switch in like 2
yeah,
years.
we're totally gonna we're gonna get
I don't even think it'll be with Switch 2. Like it'll be like the third or fourth variant.
Yeah, it'll just be like a variant, like a like how they do with their handhelds, like a revision or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
But if Nvidia is able to do some trickery with their chipset to give a little bit more oomph to the console family, I think that if it's able to output some games at 4K, why not? But right now, I don't think we're ready for that.
I don't want them to focus on it until they can get it right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's like don't rush it. You know,
Don't rush that. Yeah,
Nintendo
stick
comes
with
out
what
here-
you're doing now.
And Nintendo comes out here and makes some bullshit half-ass 4K console, and my Mario game's now in 30 FPS. I will be
fuck
fucking
it.
furious.
Yeah, I'm not here for
Mm-mm, not about that life, fam. Sorry. Not about that 40,
good
30,
questions in the
and
chat
every.
right
Yeah. You got questions on your end?
that. Yeah.
All right,
No,
go
my
ahead.
side doesn't do questions for whatever
Yeah, they don't
reason.
do questions.
They just like to come here and talk about Xbox. I don't know
They
why.
talk shit, but go ahead and go ahead and read off a few questions before we hit these fuckboy hours.
How many we have time for before we bounce? Like,
We're at
what's our
9:30.
time?
We're at 9. It's
Pick
9:30.
the best ones, and then we'll see if there's time for the lesser ones.
Yeah, so
Okay.
pick about two good ones.
2 good ones. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I have a question here from Terrence Tiny. I think that's how you say his name.
Hello.
He says, question, what 3 IPs does Nintendo need to revive? So if you had to choose 3 Nintendo IPs for them to revive, which ones would you choose?
They already brought back mine, Metroid, so.
Pick 3, Dark Star. That's not what I asked you. Pick 3.
Oh, damn.
I
I want my Advance Wars.
Oh my god, yes.
That was
Yes.
super nice.
Yeah, I could dig it.
I say, y'all already know what I'm gonna say. Star Tropics, because I think we need more action adventure games than just Zelda. I would say I would have to agree with Alex with Advance Wars. Like I think now,
And Kid Icarus too.
Kid Icarus,
Yeah, Kid Icarus,
yes.
definitely.
Because right now the only strategy games Nintendo has under their belt is freaking Fire Emblem, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we need more action
And-
adventure so Kid Icarus can fill that role as well as Star Tropics. Bring back some more
And
strategy games.
Golden Sun.
Golden Sun,
is
yeah,
also
definitely.
a good one. Very good one. Very good choices.
Why would I want damage reduction? That's stupid. Go away.
Trying to think. Let's see. I really don't have anything because you just said Kid Icarus, so there's one
Yeah.
for me.
I could.
Yeah.
Let's look at
What
the
about
list of their
freaking,
IPs here.
I know. Let me see what else they
The
got.
spooky game from the GameCube. I can't. Oh, I'm having a brain fart.
Eternal
Eternal
Darkness.
Eternal
Ooh,
Darkness.
yeah.
Eternal Darkness.
Nintendo has like no horror games.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying a few
Yeah.
days ago. They
Well,
need
to be
that
fair, horror
on
games don't
systems.
sell well. They're trash.
They
How
don't.
did Resident Evil 7 do?
Huh?
Did that game not
okay.
do well?
It
Resident
didn't.
Evil
I mean, it didn't do
Didn't meet their
bad, but it
expectations.
it just didn't meet their expectations.
It's
We
not-
totally need them to bring. No, here's what we need to bring. We need them to bring Chibi Robo back.
No.
They did it. They brought it on 3DS and
No.
ruined it.
I know, I'm messing. Calm
Just
down.
leave Chibi Robo alone.
They brought that
killed
back.
it.
They brought
They
it back,
ruined
and
it.
it literally died again.
Why did they think that was a good idea?
I
Oh yeah, they
don't
do
even
have Fatal
know.
Frame, Phantom. I'm sorry. Yeah, but Fatal
That's a,
Frame.
that's a Japanese.
It
Yeah,
came
Fatal
over
Frame
to
is not. It's not. Fatal Frame is one of those kind of games that appeals to a certain
shit.
demographic of people.
Japan.
Because
No,
it's
Fatal
not-
Frame sucks.
It's not
I
like
don't
your
like it.
typical
It's
horror
trash.
game. It's like the
Yeah.
whole premise around Fatal Frame is kind of.
It's just
weird.
boring. You walk around with a camera and you take pictures.
Yeah.
You're never
That-
actually in
yeah,
any real
that-
danger.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like with the like Eternal Darkness, like you're actually doing stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
that's a more of a traditional horror game.
yeah.
But like that Fatal Frame is just straight garbage.
Yes.
Walking around taking pictures all day, y'all.
Ooh, yay!
Another question.
I'd rather play Pokemon Snap.
Oh, that's true though.
I actually wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I'm actually like, yeah.
Oh, don't say it, because then they won't give us a real Pokemon game. They'll give us that shit instead.
Another question. Do you think Nintendo will have to view the Xbox One X as a threat to the Switch's growth?
No,
No.
Reggie
Not
already
even a
said they're
bit.
not worried about it.
They don't care. They are. Yeah, they just said
Nobody's
that. No.
worried about Yoshi. Nobody's
Nobody-
not worried about it. Nintendo's
Nobody's
not
really worried about it. I mean,
The only one
the
worried
Pro.
about it is Zaire. He knows that shit ain't selling.
I don't think
Right.
Nintendo's worried. I think that
Nintendo.
Nintendo has crafted their own path with the Switch, and a lot of people don't really understand that. Like they're meeting a certain portion.
They're
of the
hitting
market
a
that is not
demographic that the
really-
other consoles don't reach.
Yeah, that's exactly. You said it much better than I could have said it. Like they're crafting their own path with the Switch, which is smart.
Yep. That's what they need to do, because they cannot compete directly with Microsoft and Sony head-to-head like that anymore.
Like, at all.
They have to do their own thing, because they just don't have the money like Sony and Microsoft to make these powerful consoles all the time. And they don't have the third-party support behind them either, so they got to do their own thing. And sometimes I'm happy they do it, and then sometimes you get a Wii U, so it is what it is. Like, they got it right this time.
So
Terrence in the chat says Switch is selling so good that it's not selling because it's out of stock.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, you can blame Apple for that one. Ah, damn it! I hit the fire.
Thanks to Apple. Shout out to Apple.
Man, Grimpachi, you are really going hard with the trolling, my friend.
Are you talking about Federation Force?
No, he's talking about like the Switch is not capable of doing 60 FPS and all this shit.
All right.
I mean, all of the other Nintendo games say hi, but I'm just gonna.
I know, it's just whatever.
it's whatever.
He's just I don't know what it is. He likes to annoy people.
Nintendo is just proving once again that they're a better game developer than Sega. Moving on.
Well, they've always been Sega. Like Sega's always been terrible. I don't know why people have this imagination that Sega's amazing.
I mean, I love my Genesis. There's a lot of games I think Sega did well.
Yeah, but like overall, they never really, you know.
There's a reason they got out of the console business, and they're terrible.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck! I hit the fire again.
Okay, you got some stuff going on over there.
We ain't got no questions over here. Anything else relevant, worthy of talking about?
Easy Shock wants out. I guess Alice, before we get out of here, he wants you to explain. Did you say Nintendo doesn't have the money to compete?
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't. They cannot compete directly with Microsoft. Are you crazy?
Microsoft is a giant.
Microsoft is the second richest company in the world. Are you insane?
Like, don't get me wrong. Nintendo got money, but they don't have Microsoft money.
They don't have Microsoft money.
Like, they try to go head-to-head with Microsoft. They will go bankrupt.
They don't throw money to the wind like Sony. Like, Sony has less money than Nintendo. They have less market capital than Nintendo. But Sony throws money around. Nintendo does not. End of story. I don't know what's so hard to understand about that.
And that's why they have that treasure trove of money that they swooted right now.
Yeah, they have money sitting there. They don't use it.
You hit the fire again.
You think Nintendo's dollar even comes close to Microsoft's dollar? You are delusional, my friend. Only one company has more money than them, and that's Apple.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, Nintendo is a billion-dollar company, but there's only so much money that you can throw at the wall like that. Like Nintendo,
their marketing budget is nowhere near.
They can't go head.
Yeah,
they can't go head to head with Microsoft.
Like they've said it themselves. Like I don't understand why people get confused when I say things like this. They said this. Iwata said this. Like, they cannot compete with Sony and Microsoft.
Like, they have money, they just can't recoup the cost as fast as those other companies. I guess.
Yeah, because they don't have as many streams.
Right, that's the difference. It's like if you have multiple money streams coming in. Like say me and Coupon, we own. Let's say me and Coupon, we own like a jewelry stand, right? But the only thing we make is like necklaces. And say like some, company across the street, they make necklaces, they make bracelets, they make shoes. They have more money streams coming in from different portions of their business, whereas me and Coupon only make bracelets. Like, we might make as much money as them making bracelets, but we still only make bracelets, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
they'll recoup their money faster than you.
Right. Like, that's the difference between, like, say, like a Walmart versus, like, a mom and pop store that sells certain items. Like, they just have more money stream coming in faster than this other company over here.
Which is also why places like Walmart can have crazy discounts, because they make it up by selling other stuff.
Exactly.
Where mom and pop stores, like, I'm sorry, Walmart has it for $20, but I can't sell it to you for that price. I have to charge you $60.
Exactly.
Because mom and pop shop can't make that cost back in the grocery section.
Right. And that's a lot of people, that's the thing people get mixed up as well. Like, when we, don't get it, Nintendo has money. It's just that money stream coming back is not as quick as these other companies. That's all we're saying.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, or we're good to go to wrap this on up?
I think we should wrap it up in a nice big bow.
All right, hitting them fuckboy hours.
Point, I think.
Alrighty. Well, thanks everyone for coming along. We're gonna go ahead and get our outros here. We're gonna start with Nia. Go ahead and give us your informations where we can find you and contacts.
What is up, everybody? It's your girl Nia, the video game her. I'm delirious. Sorry.
Of course, you
can find me on Twitter at TheVideoGamHer, YouTube at TheVideoGamHer, Twitch at TheVideoGamHer. I'm about to start taking donations because your girl needs a new hard drive for her computer, and I, like Nintendo, my money stream don't come in as fast as my bills. So, you know, that's a thing. But I want to give some shout outs. I'm sorry I didn't do shout outs throughout the show. We were trying to kind of get it along because, you know, we got stuff to do. So I want to shout outs to Keith Norris, shout outs to Mystia, shout outs to Easy Shock, Muhammad Alavi, shout outs to Chariot Man, shout outs to Dan Sinfield. Thanks to all of you guys that came through. We got up to like 26, 27 people today. Not as many people that came through last week, but I understand it's a slow news week, slow trickle of news. So make sure you guys tell your homies to come out next week because hopefully we have more interesting things to talk about. But I do appreciate those of you guys who did show up. You guys' attention and your feedback is always very appreciated. And it is, we do see it. We keep in mind, you know, your comments, even though we can't respond on the spot because we have to go through these topics. But we do recognize you and we do appreciate you.
Alrighty then. Mr. Dank himself, go ahead and let us know where you're coming from, what you've been at, and what you're doing, and how we can contact you.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Darkstar here. You can catch me on YouTube at DarkstarDX. I'm on Twitter as well with the same name, and yeah, Twitter's always lit, so you can throw it.
Twitter's a lot of fun.
Can I suggest something? Can you do like a talk show or some kind of radio show?
I would listen to it.
Because I need to listen to this because your voice is very melodic.
It's soothing voice.
He has the perfect like late night, you know, jazzy talk show host.
Late night with Darkstar.
Yeah,
like late night with Darkstar. Yes.
Oh man,
I would watch it. Like, you know, like
I will watch it.
If you have like an easy listening voice, like it's so like it's a blessing. Because, like, my voice is, like, screechy and high-pitched, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you listen to somebody like
I sound like a baby all the time.
Like, you can listen to this man just talk about just the most trivial things. Like, just because he's talking. Right? Like, that's a blessing, dude.
Like, what's he talking about? Who cares? Just listen.
Talk about feelings in my next video.
Right. That's cool. It's cool. You did go ham on that double cross.
Oh, my God. I was here for that. I was like,
I'll talk to you. Yeah. I feel you, man, but it's cool. It's cool. So when you know, late night with Darkstar coming soon, you guys. you heard it here first. It's happening. Go ahead, Alex. Let us know where we can contact you at, what you're doing, and where's all the fun coming from.
All right,
and he died from the fire.
Everyone, Activeson here. Hope you had a good time with the show. This is probably my favorite show to do. And yeah, we had a lot of Nintendo stuff to talk about, and I was surprised I actually had something positive to say about Reggie for once. So it doesn't happen often.
Not too often.
But yeah, it was a good show. Thanks Darkstar coming out.
Yep.
As well.
Appreciate you coming
to have
through.
Mr. Dank here. There we go. Beat him.
Always welcome. Always welcome. And I am your host this evening. I am Coupon Strategy, Gamer Diva. You know where to find me. Struggle streams are usually coming. New character for Paragon tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be streaming tomorrow if all goes well. So catch me there, YouTube and Twitch. And you can find me on Twitter at Coupon. You can find me on Facebook at Coupon Strides. I'm more on Facebook than Twitter, so, you know, pick your poison. But you'll find me more on Facebook. And we are out of here. Thanks for coming.
Peace,
Deuces.